Live from Florida A&M University on the highest of 7 hills in the capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend. This is the award-winning FAMU TV 20 News.
Good afternoon and welcome to FAMU News 20. I'm Kalisha Moore.
And I'm Ariane Daly. Let's jump right into our local news. Eyes are on the United States of America as we wait to find out who the nation's 46th president will be.
The polls are closed, but some significant swing states are still in the process of counting all votes. President Donald Trump making a claim of victory early this morning, even as millions of votes have yet to be counted. Former Vice President Joe Biden, however, calling for patience with the process.
As of right now, Joe Biden has the lead with 248 electoral votes to Trump's 214 electoral votes. Legitimate vote counting will continue, and we will stay up to date with any new information on mail-in ballots. Governor Ron DeSantis held a press conference this afternoon, and live in the studio, Michael Moore tells us the details.
Thank you, ladies. While President Donald Trump is projected to win the state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis is not pleased with the way some media outlets handled the calling of the Sunshine State. In his press conference, he addressed the lack of transparency within other states, including Nevada, who stalled on counting votes. Tight races remain with Wisconsin and Michigan still up for grabs. Live in the studio, I'm Michael Moore. Back to you, ladies, at the desk.
Florida voters approved Amendment 2, raising minimum wage to $15 over the next 6 years. Live in the multimedia newsroom, Adriana Alexander tells us more.
That's right, Kalisha. Amendment 2 gradually increases minimum wage from $8.56 to $15. Starting in 2021, minimum wage will be $10 and increase by $1 each year until 2026. Live in the newsroom, I'm Adriana Alexander. Back to you, ladies, at the desk.
Well, one group of voters that gets a lot of attention each election, young people. The 2020 election is no different. Our multimedia journalist Alexis Lynn breaks down some of the early numbers when it comes to the Florida youth vote.
The 2020 election turned out in historic numbers for early voting. Here in Florida, we set a record with nearly 9 million people casting their ballot early. Data from the Center of Information and Research on Civic Learning and Engagement at Tufts University says young people made up 14% of all votes cast in Florida. I spoke to Robin Seniors, who serves as the national co-chair for HBCU students for the Biden-Harris campaign about the youth vote.
And I always want to create a world where, right now my main focus is where my nephew would want to grow up in and where he'll be safe growing up as a young Black man.
Many African Americans and young voters I talked to express the importance of their vote. London Camel tells us more.
That's been so fun. Just engaging with youth voters, young voters, actually not even just the young, we're engaging with the young, the old, the rich, the poor, just everybody across the board and making sure that they get out to vote.
Circle data shows close to 10 million young people ages 18 to 29 voted in this year's election. In Tallahassee for FAMU TV 20, I'm Alexis Lynn.
Well, now we take a look at other local election results. Curtis Richardson was able to defend his City Commission District 2 seat against a challenge from Bill Shack. Both candidates are Florida State alumni and longtime residents of Tallahassee. But Tallahassee, being a Democratic stronghold, didn't help Republican Bill Shack, who conceded the runoff election at about 8:30 p.m. Tuesday night. In retaining his seat, Richardson promises to grow the economy. An election surprise in Leon County, Brian Welch beats out incumbent Brian Deloge. A shocking result as Deloge faced an opponent for the first time since being elected to the commission in 2006. Unofficial results showed Welch garnered 56% of the vote in District 4. This amounts to more than 21,000 votes. 43% of voters in the district voted for Deloge, who is the current chairman of the county commission. Welch campaigned on putting community issues above developer interests in the area.
Property taxes in Leon County are going up after residents voted yes to creating a Children's Services Council. City and county leadership were split into opposing groups up until the election, but things certainly changed when voters went to the polls. The Children's Services Councils will have access to millions of dollars generated by a property tax increase to improve early education readiness, children's health, and provide nutritional assistance. The referendum passed 65% voting yes. Re-elect Rocky Hanna came away with another victory for the superintendent of Leon County Schools. Hanna clinched the race with more than 59% of votes against running mate Pam Hightower. Hightower brought in 39%. The Florida State University alum looks to continue putting money into classrooms and assisting families throughout the pandemic. We have updates for Gadsden County Superintendent of Schools. Elijah Key is projected to win, coming in at 77% with more than 17,000 votes, while Richard Burns garnered 22% of those votes. You may notice more children are walking to and from school in Leon County. They are returning to school this week for in-person learning in their second 9 weeks of classes. Reporter Shatara Simmons takes a look at what drivers need to know with more activity going on in school zones.
This week, Leon County schools began to reopen their campuses to nearly 1,500 students. As more students head to school, you may notice more traffic in school zones. School officials and law enforcement are encouraging residents to pay attention and adhere to the driving restrictions put in place before and after school. Parent Chris Whiting says she is grateful for the school zone driving limitations.
They are necessary. I even think to a certain extent they need to be enforced a little bit more because some people are forgetful, maybe in a rush or not have kids, and it is a safety precaution that we need to follow.
Children and pedestrians are able to walk to and from across the crosswalks in school zones with the help of the school's cross guards. Leon County Cross Guard Antonio Griffin gives us an insight on the school zone driving restrictions and why they were implemented.
The school zone driving restrictions are 20 miles per hour, no faster, inside the 20 mile per hour school zone when the lights are flashing. If you're caught driving over 20 miles per hour where the police are here, they'll issue you a citation.
Griffin says cross guards work hard to stop traffic and direct civilians to cross safely. If drivers fail to pay attention to the safety signs provided by Leon County schools, law enforcement will issue them a citation. As an extra precaution, the Florida legislature have doubled speeding violations to secure the well-being of children and pedestrians. These school zone laws were put in place for the better of the school and the community. In Tallahassee, Florida, I'm Shatara Simmons for FAMU TV 20.
The Florida legislature also increased fines for illegally passing a stopped school bus. That takes effect January 1st, 2021.
We continue to bring you results of local, state, and national elections. Democratic nominee Lorraine Ausley is headed to the Florida Senate as she defeated Republican nominee Marva Preston for the District 3 seat. Although backed by Governor Ron DeSantis, Preston was unable to come away with the win. Ausley, being no stranger to politics, secured about 53% of votes, overpowering Preston's 47 or so percent. Ausley served in the State House of Representatives and carried an endorsement by former President Barack Obama. Jason Shoaf successfully defended his State House District 7 seat. Tuesday night, Shoaf picked up nearly 50,000 votes, more than doubling the votes of Democrat Tamor Khan. This win adds to a streak of large margin wins for the first-time Republican. Shoaf later said, "I am humbled by this show of support from the voters of House District 7. Allison Tant defeated Republican Jim Callinger in the fight for Florida State House Representative District 9. Tant secured about 58% of votes against Callinger, who came up behind with 42% of votes. Tant has a background in fundraising as the state chair of the Florida Democratic Party.
CNN projection shows voters in New Jersey approved a ballot measure to legalize recreational marijuana. The Garden State already legalized marijuana, but legislators were unable to pass a bill to fully legalize cannabis. On the ballot, marijuana would be legal for personal use by adults 21 and older. The current commission that regulates the medical marijuana market would also manage the recreational use market in the state. Arizona and South Dakota also voted to legalize the recreational drug. People came together in Portland for a unity march on Election Day. A crowd began forming at Revolution Hall Tuesday afternoon for the planned march in the evening. Organizers said that the march was planned to be a peaceful gathering and march, and that no matter the outcome of the presidential election, they would continue to show support of racial justice in Portland. A large crowd gathered in downtown Los Angeles Tuesday night. With many dressed in black, the group gathered near the Staples Center around 8 p.m. Los Angeles police officers say they asked the group to leave. At least 40 people were arrested. Authorities say the crowd was large and unruly. Earlier on Tuesday, police declared a tactical alert, which officials say was a preemptive measure due to Election Day.
Kanye tweets he votes for himself. Kanye West tweeted yesterday, "God is so good. Today I am voting for the first time in my life for the President of the United States, and it's for someone I truly trust, me." Disney researchers are creating a humanoid robot with a lifelike appearance. The project is a partnership with California Institute of Technology and the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. In a research paper, the group says getting robot eyes to react like real ones is a multi-step process. The robot has to perceive people and their actions first, then choose a gaze to respond, and then execute the look. The Disney researchers say that they are thinking of the robots as animated characters and that the ultimate end goal is to make them believably lifelike. Congrats to Taraji P. Henson on being the world's largest fan-voted pick for the host. Be sure to tune in to the American Music Awards on Sunday, November 22nd. After being hospitalized with a throat condition, TV host Jeannie Mai announced she will be leaving Dancing with the Stars. Mai told Good Morning America doctors say her condition affects her lungs and requires immediate surgery. She says she is heartbroken about her departure from her partner, professional dancer Brandon Armstrong. This week's double elimination round will now be a single elimination with only one contestant going home. Today, Wednesday, we are partly cloudy, but the sun is still out. High of 75 with the low of 51. On Thursday, pretty much the same, partly cloudy with a high of 79 and a low of 64. But as we make it to Friday, we are definitely going to be seeing the sun. High of 81 with the low of 68. And on Saturday and Sunday, our weekend is definitely going to be experiencing some scattered thunderstorms. So if you have any outdoor plans, bring your umbrella, bring your coat, or you may just want a rain check.
The Wisconsin Badgers canceled Saturday's home game against Purdue as COVID-19 cases continue to surge within the team. This is the second consecutive game the 10th-ranked Badgers called off due to the coronavirus pandemic. School officials announced Tuesday 3 more players and 2 additional staff members tested positive for COVID-19, with the total rising to 27 active cases, including 15 players and 12 staffers. All team-related activities from Wisconsin remain postponed indefinitely. The Denver Broncos legend and general manager John Elway tested positive for COVID-19 on Tuesday morning. He says he has experienced minor symptoms and he'll quarantine at home while he continues to work. The Broncos president and CEO Joe Ellis has also tested positive for the virus. The Broncos believe the cases originated independently outside of the team.
Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful night.